are made being through the mass communication in order that the concept of small family norm can be accepted, adapted and chosen into the daily lifestyle of the people. So that is the broadcasting of small family norm. Small family norm was the main objective of the program which was launched in 1951, that is family welfare program. Small family norm is something when the family is having 2 or less children. Because of family size, there are many spheres which are getting affecting. Somewhere if there will be increase in the family size, it will be affecting the daily life of the human beings, the quality of the life of human beings, and these quality spheres are like basic human needs, income, nutrition, health and education. If we talk about basic human needs, suppose if there will be bigger family size of the family size is increasing day by day, so the per capita share of human needs will be dividing among all the family members, and that's why there will be decrease in the per capita share. Similarly, if there will be declining in the family size, there will be bigger per capita share for all the family members. If we talk about income, if there will be increase in the family size, there will be low domestic saving, as well as there will be lesser resources for the economic development of the community as well as for the family. Similarly, if there will be decrease in the family size, there will be bigger per capita share of income among all the family members. If we talk about nutrition, if there will be increase in the size of the family, there will be less per capita share of food, nutrition as well as health. And the next point is, if we talk about health, there will be decreased mortality and there will be decreased morbidity rate in cases of less family size or small family size. But if family size is bigger, there will be increased mortality as well as increased morbidity rate. Suppose this mortality and morbidity rate is increasing because of early marriage, which is followed by early pregnancy and too many children till the advanced and reproductive age of the mother, and this all thing will be affecting the health of the mother as well as the baby. Next and last point is education. We can directly relate this education point to the family size, because where the mother is educated and literated, there will be smaller family size, and when there will be no education or illiterate mothers will be there, the family size is usually bigger, and if the mother will be educated, there will be less infant mortality rate. Next point, we will see the hazards. Hazards of large and unplanned families. So there are many hazards like too many pregnancies, too early marriage, too early pregnancy, too frequent pregnancies, and last, too late pregnancy. We will see all these points one by one. Too early marriage. So too early marriage is getting married before the considerable age. Considerable age is 21 years. So if the people are getting married before that age, so that is too early marriage. And this too early marriage can lead to hazards of childbirth as well as pregnancy, and these hazards are premature birth, stillbirth, there can be discontinuation of job for the mothers. If we'll see the next point, too early pregnancy. Too early pregnancy means mother will get pregnant before time, before 20 years of age, before 20 years of her own age she will get pregnant, and that's why there will be low birth weight babies, there will be increased morbidity and mortality rate, there will be increased chances of cancer. Next point is too frequent pregnancies. Too frequent pregnancies is not maintaining the birth spacing between another children, and that's why the parents' attention will be dividing among all the children, and parents will not be able to provide proper education, proper nutrition to all the children. Next point is too many children. Too many children and too frequent children, there is difference between both of them. Too many children means there will be more than 3 children, more than 2 children. Too frequent children is not maintaining proper spacing, birth spacing between each and every children. That should be 3 to 5 years. Too frequent children can cause disharmony, can cause economic hardship, can cause many risk for cervical cancer and morbidity and mortality rates as well. And then at last, too late pregnancy. Too late pregnancy is getting pregnant after 35 years of age. So there will be more complications, like there will be losing in the social status, there will be more chances of getting congenital abnormalities. So these were the hazards. Hazards like too early pregnancy, too many pregnancies, too frequent pregnancies, too late pregnancy and too early marriage. Next point we will move towards, that is advantages of small family norms. So if we are planning our family, and if we will be like planning a family beforehand, and if there will be small family, there will be many advantages for that. This family planning start itself from the marriage, getting married at proper age, and then the safest time for pregnancy is between 20 years to 30 years, and then to deliver a good and healthy baby, and then to maintain a proper birth spacing gap between each children, that is 2 to 5 years, and in that time mother will get proper time or sufficient time, that reasonable gap will give mother to get replenish her body nutrient which is depleted depleted or lost during previous pregnancy. Next point is these advantages are according to the mother, according to the baby, according to the father, and according to the community. If we'll see what are the advantages which is by small family norm to the mother, she'll be able to maintain her health, she'll be getting more time to give the children, to give for her own self, she'll get more time for education and vocation. Because of that, she's getting more time for education as well as for vocational activity. She'll be having many of the job opportunities, and then she'll be having less strain and less worries due to less children. She'll be able to provide children's proper care. She'll be able to focus on their children's health. Then what are the advantages to the child? First of all, child will get conducive atmosphere for proper physical as well as psychological growth and development. Then child will get proper education, nutrition, prenatal care and love. Next point is advantages for the father. Father will be also having less strain, less worry because there are less children, and then father will be able to maintain his own health standards, and then he will be having more time for the children as well as he has to provide equal care, equal love to all the children. Next point is advantages for the community. So advantages for the community are like there will be happiness, there will be harmony, there will be peace and prosperity in the environment. Because of the small family norm which is adopted, there will be enough schools, there will be enough hospitals and basic services. There will be many of the job opportunities because the small family norms. And then the family will be because of the small family size, there can be conservation of natural resources as well as savings, domestic savings that can be conserved. So this was all about our topic. We had seen introduction of small family norms, then we had seen what are the spheres which are getting affected, then we had seen hazards of large and unplanned families, then advantages according to the mother, according to the children, according to the father and according to the community.